Welcome. My name is Tom Howling, and today I want to thank you for joining us again in our Hebrew class for the week. And we will cover Yehuchanan, which is also in modern Hebrew called Yochanan, or in English John. We're in chapter 6, and we will deal with verses 13 to 16. So let us begin. And I've given you also resources. The Beit HaMashiach, a very useful resource, and also the dictionary, which is the way we determine our root words so that we have a better understanding of them. And I've given you also the chart for the Nikud, the vowel markings, just to help you in your reading. So let us begin. And we start with Yod Gimel. Yod is the 10th letter of the alphabet, so it gives us a value of 10. Gimel, the third letter, so we know we're in 13. And then we go through the letters. Vav, Yod, Aleph, Samek, Fe, Vav. Vav, Yod, Mem, Lamed, Aleph, Vav, Shin, Nun, Yod, Mem, Safit, meaning a mem at the end of a word, which looks different than the normal mem. It's a closed mem. And we have Ayin, Sin, Resh, Samek, Lamed, Yod, Mem, Safit. So let us now read. Vayasfu, and they gathered. The pronoun is at the end, it's third person, and they gathered, and the root of it is asaf, which is a kol verb to collect or to gather. And then we have malu, and they filled. Again, third person pronoun on the end, and it's a completed action, so and they filled. And it comes from male, which is a kol verb to fill, to fulfill, or to complete. And then we have sheneim, which is translated as 2, and then asar, which is 10. So 2 and 10, which makes 12. And then we have salim, baskets. And the singular form of that is sal, which is a masculine noun meaning basket. And the translation, of course, is they gathered it, or the fragments, and filled 12 baskets. Right now, before we go on, let us just repeat that we are still in the miracle of the feeding of the 5,000, which appears in all the Gospels, so it's a good place to begin working out the actual chronological stories in the scriptures. So we will read that. Vaya asfu ve malu sheneim asar salim. And of course the translation. And they gathered and they filled 2 and 10, or 12 baskets. So now we come to part B. We have a mem, and this is a pei because of the dot there. Tav, vav, tav, yod. Chet, mem, shin. Kaf, kaf again. Resh, vav, tav. Lamed, chet, mem, safit. Hey, sin, ayin, resh, yod, mem, safit. This is a sin because we have a dot there. So let us read that. Mi petote, mi petote, from the pieces. Now petotim is also plural. It's a masculine noun meaning flakes, shards, pieces, scraps, can be fragments as well. Chamesh, meaning 5. Kikerot lechem. Kikerot meaning loaves of. I've added the of, bread, and then I added of again because of the next word. Now, if we look down here, the root of it is kikar. It's a masculine noun, which can mean like something that's square. But when it's attributed to bread, like kikar lechem, it's a noun meaning a loaf, which I guess could be relatively square. And then we have ha-se-o-rim, barley. It could be loaves of bread of the barley, because it's telling us it's a noun, but you can just say barley as well. But as you can see, it's a plural form with the yod and the mem safit, the im on the end. So now we can see that the translation says 12 baskets from the pieces of the 5 barley loaves of bread is our translation. So now we're going to read that. Mi petote chamesh kikerot lechem ha-seorim. From the pieces of 5 loaves of bread of barley. And then we get part C of that same verse. And we have a Hey, Nun, Vav, Tav, Resh, Yod, Mem, Safit, Lamed, Aleph, Kaf, Lamed, Yod, Hey, Mem, Safit. And this Ha-no, Ta-rim. Ha-no-ta-rim. The ones left over. If we look down here, no-tar is a verb to be left, to remain. And it has also its root in yeter, which is a masculine noun meaning remainder, rest, or excess. And then we have leok lehem. Leok lehem, to the ones eating them, or for the ones eating them, right? The ones left over to the ones eating them. And therefore the translation says, from the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who ate them. That's how it's translated. And I've given you leokal, which is a participle for eating. And that often tells us by the cholam up here, that tells us often it's a participle form. And then we have a kal, which is a kal verb meaning to eat, to consume, even to corrode. So now we can read that. Ha-no-ta-rim leok lehem. The ones left over to the ones eating them. And we come to 14a. Now we have a yod, value of 10, and a dalet, value of 4, being the 4th letter of the alphabet. Then we go through the letters. Vayod, hey, yod, kaf, resh, aleph, vav, tav, hey, aleph, nun, shin, yod, mem, safit, aleph, tav, hey, aleph, vav, tav, hey, zion, hey. And we read it. He, and it was, often translate, and it came to pass. Kirot, when seeing, or it could be like seeing. The kaf can be used as when or like. And we got the root there as being ra. Now that comes from ra'ah, which is a kal verb to see, to perceive, to notice. Then we have ha, anashim, the men, it's a plural, et, grammar marker, ha-ot, the sign, that's a singular because ot means sign, ha-ze, this, so this sign. And it came to pass when the men saw this sign. So now we can read that. He, kirot, ha-anashim, et, ha-ot, ha-ze. And it was when seeing the man, grammar marker, the sign this. And then we come to 14b, and we have an aleph, a shin, a resh, an ayin, a sin, a hey, yod, hey, vav, shin, ayin, vav, yod, aleph, mem, resh, vav, hey, nun, hey, zion, hey, hey, vav, aleph. A shir, that, a sa, he did, because a sa means to do. He did. It's more like a perfect form. Yahushua, or Yahusha, va yom ru. And they said, again, the pronouns on the end, it's third person, and they said, hide, which means behold, this. And I've added one. Behold this one. Who he is. So the translation, this sign that he had done, they said, this truly is. And so now we can read it. Asher, asa, Yahushua, vayomru, hine ze, who? That he did, Yahusha. And they said, behold this one, he is. Now we come to 14c. We have a Vayet, Aleph, Mem, Tav. Hey, Nun, Vayet, Yod, Aleph. Hey, Bayet, Aleph, Lamed, Ayin, Vav, Lamed, Mem, Safit. And it is Be'emet, in truth, because emet is a feminine noun meaning truth, righteousness, or justice, but generally it's treated as truth. In truth. Ha-navi, the prophet. Again, the hey in front is like the. And then we'll go haba, meaning the one coming. The one coming. La olam, to the world. Right, now I've also given you down here emet. Same root letters, but it's emet. It's a verb to verify, to prove right, to confirm. Just to give you an insight into when the vowels are different, you can use it in a different way, because this is a verb form, this is a noun form. So this is he, in truth, the prophet that comes to the world. Right, so now we can read that. Be'emet hanavi haba la'olam. In truth, the prophet, the one coming to the world. And so we come to 15a. We see we've got a tet. It's the 9th letter of the alphabet, so it has a value of 9, and a vav is the 6th letter, it has a value of 6. So when we add those together, we get 15. That's how they produce 15. Right, then we have vav, yod, dalet, ayin. Yod, hey, vav, shin, ayin. Kaf, yod, yod, vayet, aleph, vav. Vav, yod, tav. Pei, because the dot. Sin, because the dot on that side, Vav, Vayet, and Vav. So now we read it. Va-ye-da. And he knew. Why is it he knew? Because we've got the prefix here. The Vav changes the tense to make it a completed action. And of course it comes from the root yada, meaning to know. And he knew Yahushua, or Yahusha, ki, that, yavo'u, they will come. If we look, we've got an imperfect yod in front of it. We know bo means to come. So you could say shall come or will come. They will come. Ve'yit pe so, and will grasp. Again, we have a vav there, but it doesn't change the tense because we've got a shavar under it. And therefore it's an imperfect form again with the yod. So, and will grasp. And the root of it is tafas, which is a kol verb to capture, to grasp, or to apprehend. And then vo, in him. Now he, Yeshua, knew that they would come and apprehend him, which just simply means they would come to take hold of him. Right, now we're going to read it. Va-yeda, Yahushua, ki yavo'u, ve'yit pe so. vo. And he knew, Yeshua, that they will come and will grasp in him. I'm just giving you a very direct translation there. And then 15b, we have a lamed, a he, a mem, lamed, yod, kaf, vav. Vav, yod, mem, lamed, tet, ayin, vav, dalet. Hey, pay, because the dot, ayin, mem, savit. Mem at the end of a word, aleph, lamed, hey, resh. And we read, le, hum, li, ko. Humliko, for his crowning. Literally, it's like a he-filled form with a hey there, and it's to make him king. If we look at the root, we can see that we got Melech or Melech in there, which is king. So if we look down there, it's we have himlik. Himlik is a verb to crown, to enthrone, to coronate. And of course, it comes from Melech, which is a masculine noun meaning king, ruler, sovereign, monarch. And then we have vayimalet, and he escaped. So what's the root? Milet. It's a PL verb to extricate, to disengage, or to remove. So you can understand why they use escape. And he escaped. Again, because of the prefix, which is a vav and a yod. The yod is imperfect, but the vav makes it perfect. So it's a completed action, and he escaped. Od, which can mean still, yet, even again. Ha, pa'am, the time. And I guess you can think of it as like this time. Still the time, or still this time. L2, Hahar, the mountain. So he knew that they would take him and make him king. So he escaped once more to the mountain. That's how it's translated. And I've given you odd as well as an adjective, which can mean more, still, yet, again, another. And then pa'am is a feminine noun, means a time, an occasion. So now we can read that. And it is le hamli ko vayi malet od ha pa'am el ha har. And the translation, for his crowning, or to make him king. And he escaped still, or again, the time to the mountain. And then we have 15 again, and we have a hey, vav, aleph, lamed, vayet, dalet, vav. Who, which means he, le, va, do, him alone. Again, the vav at the end with the cholam, meaning him or his. In this case, we'll use him. And we got levad. Levad is an adjective, means alone, by oneself, unaccompanied. Him alone or unaccompanied, to the mountain, alone by himself. That's the translation. So now we read it. Who? Levado. He, him alone. And now we come to 16. It's represented by Tet, a value of 9, and Zion, a value of 7. So together that's 16. And we have Vav Yod, He Yod, Vayet, Ayin, Resh, Vayet, Vav Yod, Resh, Dalet, Vav, Tav, Lamed, Mem, Yod, Dalet, Yod, Vav, Aleph, Lamed, He, Yod, Mem, Sofit. And we read it, He, and it was, Va'erev, in the evening, Va'yerdu, and they went down. Comes from Yarad, which is a co-verb to descend, to go down, to decrease. And they went down, again the pronoun on the end. Talmidav, his disciples. The Vav is his, and the Yod tells us it's plural as well. His disciples. El-tu hayam, meaning the sea. And it came to pass in the evening, his disciples went down to the sea. And so now we can read it. Vayhi, va'erev, va'yedu, talmidav, el hayam. And it was in the evening, and they went down, his disciples, to the sea. And now we come to 16b, and we got a Vav, Yod, Vayet, Aleph, Vav, Vayet, Aleph, Nun, Yod, Hey, Vav, Yod, Ayin, Vayet, Resh, Vav, Aleph, Lamed, Ayin, Vayet, Resh, Hey, Yod, Mem Safit. And we read it. Vayavo'u, and they came. Again, it's a completed action because of the prefix. And it is va'aniya, in or into a boat. Right, so we've got aniya is a boat. Vayavru, and they crossed. Right, the pronoun on the end, and we have the root. Avar. If we look down here, avar is a verb to pass, to cross, to go over, to surpass. And then we also have ever, which is a masculine noun which means side. So me'ever is a masculine noun meaning the other side, the side beyond. And I've given you that for this one, which is el-tu ever, the other side. Right, so one is like a verb, and then this one's more like a noun. To the other side, and I've added of, hayam, the sea. So they went down to the sea, entered a boat, and crossed to the other side of the sea. So now we can read that. Vayavo'u, va'aniya, Vayavru el ever hayam. And they came into a boat, and they crossed to the other side of the sea. And so we come to 16c, and we have an Aleph Lamed, Kaf Fe Resh, Nun Chet Vav Mem Safit. And El meaning two. Kefar, which literally means village. Nahum. Nahum means the prophet Nahum. So literally it's saying they came to the village of Nahum the prophet. And they translated the sea to Capernaum. So they join them together, but actually they're two separate words. And down here we've got kafar as a masculine noun meaning rural village. It's the first word in many of Israeli communities. Right, so we can read it. El Kefar Nahum. To Kefar Nahum, to the village of the prophet Nahum. And now we come to our revision portion, just to see what we've gathered out of this lesson. Firstly, we've got a Yod. We know there's a value of 10. Gimel has a value of 3. And then we read, Vayasfu, and they gathered. They malu, and they filled. Shneim, 2, Asar, and 10, meaning 12. Salim, baskets. And they gathered, and they filled 12, or 2 and 10 baskets. Mi pe to te, from the, it could be fragments or pieces of. because the construct form. Chamesh, 5. Ki, kerot, loaves, and we could add of, lechem, bread, and I've added of again. Ha, seorim, which is the barley, or just barley, but a plural form. From the fragments of 5 loaves of bread of barley. Ha, notarim, the ones left over. Leok, lehem, to the ones eating them. The ones left over could be 2 or for the ones eating them. And now we come to 14, which is a Yod and a Dalet. Vehi, and it was, kirot, like or when seeing ha'anishim, the man, et grammar marker, ha'ot, the sign, ha'zeh, this sign. And it was, when seeing the man, grammar marker, the sign, this, share that, asa, he did, Yeshua, vayomru, and they said, hine, behold, they, this, or this one, who he is, that he did, Yeshua, and they said, behold, this one, he is, be'emet, in truth, ha-navi, the prophet, haba, the one coming, la-olam, to the world. In truth, the prophet, the one coming to the world. And so we come to 15, which is a tet, 9, and vav, 6. So 9 and 6, 15. Va-yeda, and he knew, Yahushua, ki that, Yavo'u, they will come, ve'yit peso, and will grasp or apprehend, vo, in him. And he knew, Yahushua, that they will come and will grasp in him. Lehamliko, to crown him or to cause, to make him king. Vayimalet, and he escaped. Odd, still, or it could be again. Hapa'am, the time, which is like this time, you could even say the time. L2, ha, the mountain, for his crowning, to make him king. And he escaped more or again the time to the mountain. Who? He, levado, him alone. So he, him alone. He, him alone. And 16 is a tet and a zion. Tet is 9, zion is 7, 9 and 7 is 16. Vehi, and it was. Va-erev, in the evening. Va-yerdu, and they went down. Talmidav, his disciples, El2 Hayam, the sea. And it was in the evening, and they went down, his disciples, to the sea. Vayavo'u, and they came. And often it's translated entered, but it's literally, and they came. Va'aniyah, into a boat. Vaya avru, and they crossed. L2 ever, meaning the other side, hayam, of the sea. And they came into a boat and they crossed to the other side of the sea. L2, Kephar, the village of Nahum, the prophet Nahum, or of course translated as Capernaum. To Kephar Nahum, to the village of Nahum, Capernaum. And then finally we come again to the valve marks, just so that we refresh ourselves, always understanding how we can use them. A karmatz is like a longer sounding A. A patak is a bit shorter. Zere is a longer E sound. Segol is shorter. Shavar is what breaks up the word into its syllables. Cholam is the O sound. Shuruk is a short U. Kubutz is a bit longer, and then we have a combination of Shavar and Segol, called a Kataf Segol. And then we have Chirik, that's the I sound. Then we have Kataf Patak, so we have a combination again. And then we have the same here, Kataf Kamatz, the longer A after the Shavar. And finally we come to, again, the resources, because I want to keep encouraging you to use them because they are very helpful. And also all the letters and their values. And that's why I like to randomly pick some just so that you get used to the letters. Kuf has a value of 100, Lamed 30, Gimel 3, Zion 7, Ayin 70, Tav 40, Zadeh 90, Yod 10, Vayet or Bayet 2, and finally Mem 40. And so we hope that these lessons are encouraging you to understand your Hebrew. And we do thank you for joining us, and you've come this far. We hope to see you again, and we want to wish you a Shavua Tov, meaning a good week or a good 7. And may our Master Yeshua or Yahusha, however you say it, may he bless you and keep you as you journey through the journey of faith. Amen.